Welcome to This Daring Adventure podcast, where we work on bridging the gap between where we are and where we want to be in order to live a bigger and bolder life. In this podcast, we will provide inspiration, tips, and skills you need to make your life the adventure you want it to be. Here's your host, mindset mentor, and life coach, Trista Gurton.
Hey everybody, welcome back to This Daring Adventure. So before we start, I wanted to let you know about a new class that I am holding on December 18th. That's at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The link will be in the show notes so you can register. And it is the 2026 Identity Shift. So if you are tired of setting New Year's resolutions and finding that they don't work, we are going to talk about a process of change that is more powerful, more sustainable, more helpful than just taking the action and setting those New Year's resolutions and following through for 3 weeks and then stopping again. So I want to share that with you, and then I will also tell you about my 2026 Shift program, which is in my You Redefined coaching community. We're going to be doing that for 12 weeks starting the first week of January. So this will be a great introduction if you are curious about that at all. But definitely the class will give you some idea and some things to work on that you can start right away. And definitely, I think it's a change not only in how we show up and how we set goals and how we live our lives, but in our identity and who we become in this process. And once you learn how to do this, then you have a repeatable process. You have the tools and the skills so that anything you want to change in any area of your life, you will know how. All right. So let's dive into the episode. I was coaching a client the other day and we had a great session. And one of the things that came up was, and I've done a course on this, I've done the validation shift, and I've talked about this before, but when we are looking for others to give us what we need or what we want, and that could be respect, that can be gratitude, that can be appreciation, that could be support, that can be giving us anything that we think we want or need. And again, there's no right or wrong answer here. If you think you want this, and that's fine, and that's perfectly valid. And we can make those requests of other people, certainly. I'm not saying don't do that. But the problem is humans are going to be humans. And they may give you, they may respond, they may do the things that you want them to do, but the chances are they might not. And my client the other day had some ideas of how she wanted to celebrate her birthday, the flowers that she wanted, and then the same with friends and acquaintances reaching out, asking her for coffee, asking her to go out for dinner or movies or whatever it is. And she wasn't getting what she wanted. And it wasn't happening in the way and the time and anything that she wanted. And so she was feeling unseen, unsupported, and unappreciated. And it hurts, right? We get it. It hurts when you feel like the people that you love aren't showing up in the way you hope they would. But part of what we talked about during the coaching session was what she was doing for herself. We get caught up in this cycle where we're spending so much time and emotional energy thinking about what others aren't doing for us. They're not planning the dinner, they're not buying the flowers, they're not checking in, they're not calling first, they're not asking us to do things, they're not making the plans. And we can expend a lot of time and energy in this cycle. fixated on these things. And then the disappointment, the resentment, the frustration, the waiting just continues to build and build. And we basically land up sitting in the waiting room of our own lives, hoping that that delivery will come or someone else will knock on the door. What we want will arrive. But, and I learned this from my coach, Brooke Castillo, if you want that beautiful birthday dinner, then make the reservation yourself. If you want the flowers, go out and buy the flowers. If you want to make plans, pick up the phone and invite. Not because other people shouldn't care, not because you shouldn't be treated well, but because your power comes from giving yourself what you need instead of outsourcing it. That's where your power is. Who better than you to take care of you, to give you what you want and need? Who better than you to create the life you want? Who better than you to meet your own desires with generosity and intention? We get stuck when we make other people's inaction mean something about us. He didn't buy the flowers, so he doesn't love me, or he doesn't think I'm important enough. No one reached out, so maybe I don't matter. I always have to call first, so maybe I'm not valued. But most of the time, people aren't walking around strategizing on how to disappoint us. They're caught up in their own heads, their own problems, they're on autopilot, they're living their lives. Don't take it personally. It's not going to be personal unless you decide that it is. You don't have to make it mean anything about you. And you can't control the other people. You cannot control the humans. They are out there. You can make requests, as I said, ask, be kind, be polite, be loving, be all the things, but you can't control them and you can't change them. And when we stop making their behavior mean something about our worth, we get to redirect all of that mental energy into something infinitely more powerful, creating what we want instead of waiting for it. Imagine what you can create with all that time and energy. You're no longer complaining, hoping, waiting, analyzing, resenting. It's redirected into doing something wonderful for yourself, creating experiences that you actually want, learning something that you want to learn, showing yourself how deeply you can love and support you, feeling appreciated because you choose to appreciate yourself, having plans because you initiated them, living a life that feels full instead of dependent on someone else's emotional availability. That is a woman who is not waiting for permission. That is a woman who is not outsourcing her joy. That is a woman in her power. Who better than you? No one. So this week, I want you to look at every place you're waiting for someone else to go first and decide, maybe I go first. Maybe I'm the one who gives me what I need. You will never be able to fill that gap waiting for someone else to do this for you. And it will never be enough. And when you stop waiting for others to act differently, that's the moment you stop feeling powerless. And the moment you start acting on your own behalf is the moment that everything changes. Who better than you? Exactly. Let's go. Join me for my class on the 18th. If you want to try coaching for yourself, the link to my calendar is in the show notes. Try a free coaching session. It's 1 hour, one-to-one with me. It's a power hour, and it can change everything. And if you're interested, take a look at my coaching community, You Redefined. It's the best coaching community. It's everything you need in one place. Community, support, coaching, tools and resources that will help you to create the life you want because you don't have to stay stuck. All right, people, let's go. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.